May 12th. The Town Council meeting of Tuesday, May 19th, 2026 is hereby called to order at 7 p.m. I want to say welcome to everybody to today's meeting. As your mayor and your presiding officer, my role under the town charter and the town of Dumfries rules and procedures and Robert's rules of order is to ensure that we have orderly process of business and maintain a decorum for all participants, council, staff, and the public so you all can be heard respectfully and fairly. To that end, please note the following requirements which apply equally to council members and the public. All comments must be directed through the mayor and the presiding officer of the meeting, same person. No comment should be directed at an individual member, staff member, or member of the public. We ask that you keep your side conversations, whispering or crosstalk, so that they all be made audible to the room and part of the official record. Electronic devices should be silenced. We ask that any text and email messages we let you know related to public business matters up here during the meeting may be subject to a Freedom of Information Act and should be avoided. No one will speak while another person has the floor. Interruptions will be ruled out of order. Council members will be recognized by the mayor before speaking. Council members may speak up to 2 times on any item with a combined total of no more than 10 minutes. Members of the public are allotted a chance to sign in and speak for 3 minutes during the citizen comment time, or they can also speak at public hearings unless otherwise changed by a majority vote of the council prior to the meeting. During citizen comment time and public hearing, council members will not respond directly to the speaker's responses. Any clarifications, follow-up remarks may be offered later during a designated council comment time. Any member ruled out of order will yield the floor immediately unless the ruling is appealed in accordance to the Robert's Rules of Orders. We ask that all outbursts be not permitted unless they are invited. Disruptive behavior may result in a removal from the meeting and, if necessary, expulsion for the remainder of the session. Speakers who exceed the allotted time or violate decorum may have their microphones silenced. And political commentary or attempts to draw staff into political matters are not appropriate. These rules are all designed to protect the rights of all participants, to ensure compliance with the law, and keep our meetings efficient, respectful, and productive. Thank you for your cooperation. With that, Madam Clerk, please call for the roll.
Councilman Fields?
Here.
Councilman Pete?
Here.
Councilman Young?
Here.
Councilwoman Peterson?
Present.
Chairperson Miles?
Present.
Vice Mayor Nickerson? Mayor Wood?
Here.
Thank you.
All right, we will ask our opening prayer by Ms. Andrea Savage. Yep. All right. The floor is yours at the podium. Mm-hmm.
My prayer will first be in Hebrew and then English, as recently divided. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvosav, v'tzivanu la'asok b'torkei tzibur. How full of blessing you are, Eternal One, our God, Majesty of the universe, who has consecrated us with your commands and commanded us to occupy ourselves with the needs of the community.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, please be seated. All right, next on the agenda is the adoption of our agenda. Councilman Young?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a move till we adopt the agenda.
Mr. Mayor, I'll second that motion.
Okay, it's been moved and second. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, Madam Clerk, please call for the question.
Councilman Fields?
Yes.
Councilman Pete?
Yes.
Councilman Young?
Yes.
Councilwoman Peterson? Aye. Chairperson Miles? Aye. Mayor Wood?
Yes.
That motion's passed.
We can we'll add that later on. Oh, I forgot. We have a resolution. We have a resolution. Did you want to put the resolution on there?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's amend that motion. So
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to withdraw that motion.
it's already been voted on.
You can
It
amend it.
passed. Huh?
Yeah,
We can amend it, so you can amend it
to add the resolution.
to add the resolution to honor Mayor Chris Brown.
I'd like to second the amended motion.
Okay. All right, so it's been motioned and second, seeing no discussion. All in favor, can we just say by aye?
Yes.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, seeing none. All right, for the members of the public, and you'll see the flags lowered the next couple of days. We're gonna, we just added a resolution because we lost one of our former mayors and council members, Chris Brown. And his services are Thursday, and they will have his wake on tomorrow night. So we will give that. All right. So with that said, our first proclamation tonight is to recognize the month of May 2026 as, and Gina gonna have to help me, fibromyalgia.
Algae.
Fibromyalgia. Okay. Algae.
Algae.
Okay, Awareness Month. All right, let me read this. It says, whereas fibromyalgia is a complex chronic illness condition that causes fatigue, cognitive dysfunction, sleep disturbances, and widespread debilitating pain in over 4 million people in the United States. That's 2 to 4% of the population have been diagnosed with the disease for which there is no known cure. Whereas it often takes an average of 3 to 5 years to even receive the diagnosis. It's present in children and young adults, which pose unique challenges for this population. They not only struggle with the symptoms of this illness, but also from a lack of social acceptance. And whereas increased public awareness, education, and research are the keys to winning the battle. Whereas organizations and patient leaders have joined together to advocate for fibromyalgia awareness and support a better future for research, treatment, and education. Now, therefore, the Town of Dumfries Town Council do hereby proclaim the month of May as Fibromyalgia Awareness Month. Signed this day, the 19th day of May, 2026. Mayor Derek R. Wood, by order of the council. Gina, come forward. Yeah, give her a round. Oh my God, that was saying it all wrong. You said I get it.
Put your hand up there.
Oh, do we need to come back over? Here?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, for this opportunity. If you have anyone in your family that has this condition, and it's very misunderstood, I have a group, it's on Facebook, and the lady that runs it, she's very bad off with it, and I kind of took the realms from her. Anybody that knows me on Facebook probably sees me posting this in-depth medical history stuff constantly. They probably want me to shut up once in a while, but I want people to know, please understand your family member. I have people that said their husband left them because of it. Luckily, mine understands me. He takes me to every appointment. He's there for me when I cry, wake up, when I don't even know my dog's names. And today was a fair day. I fell recently because I'm a klutz, and it also goes with fibro. My doctor has me listed as a fall hazard. I'm 59 years old. I shouldn't be listed as a fall hazard. This is a serious condition. I joke with my daughter about it. I tell her it's hereditary. I'm adopted. I recently found my birth family. It runs in my family. So if you hear someone in your family say, I hurt constantly, I'm forgetful, and they shouldn't be, check into it. It took me 2 years to find out. I was diagnosed twice, once in North Carolina, once here. Listen to your family, please, and don't disown anyone who says this. It's a serious issue. Some days you'll see me walking around Walmart without a cane. Some days you'll see me in the little buggy driving around. And, you know, just please understand. That's all we need is a little bit more understanding. But I appreciate you, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is a proclamation to recognize Mental Health Awareness Month. Whereas mental health is essential to the well-being of individuals, families, and a thriving community. And whereas Mental Health Awareness Month raises awareness, it reduces the stigma and promotes access to care, compassion, and support for all. Whereas the town of Dumfries recognizes that emotional wellness strengthens families, it builds resilience, and contributes to a healthier community. For more than 25 years, Serenity Family Counseling Services, founded by Shalonda Shea Weens, has provided trusted, compassionate care while helping raise awareness and connect individuals and families to critical mental health resources. Through her counseling outreach and community engagement, Shea Weems and her Serenity Family Counseling Services have made a meaningful impact in promoting the healing, hope, and resilience across the community. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Town Council of Dumfries do hereby proclaim the month of May 2026 as Mental Health Awareness Month in the town of Dumfries, and we commend Shea Weems and the Serenity Family Council Service for their dedicated service and lasting contributions to the well-being of our community. Signed, 19th day of May, Mayor Derek R. Wood, by order of the council.
One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank the mayor and the council and the town of Dumfries for this proclamation here. I would just ask that people not take for granted what other people may be going through. So whether it's bullying from our young people, even the younger people, cyberbullying, PTSD, my tagline is not all wounds are visible. So you don't know what people are going through. So please be safe and take care of each other and take care of yourself. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next one is National Public Works Week. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, they focus on facilities and services, and they are vital to the resilient communities, public health, quality of life, and the well-being of the town of Dumfries. Whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and service could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals, including the engineers, the managers, the employees at all levels of government and the private sector who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities that are essential for our citizens. And where it is to the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children of the town of Dumfries to gain knowledge of and to maintain an ongoing interest in understanding the importance of public works and the public works programs in their community. Whereas the year 2026 marks the 66th annual National Public Works Week sponsored by the American Public Works Association. So now therefore be it proclaimed that the Town Council of Dumfries do hereby proclaim May 17th through May 23rd, 2026 as National Public Works Week. And we urge all our citizens to join with representatives of the American Public Works Association and government agencies in any activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, employees, and to recognize their contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and advancing the quality life for all. Signed, 19th day of May, Mayor Derek R. Wood, by order of the council. So you get up to get your part, man.
Other side.
Okay.
1, 2, 2, 3. Thank you.
In a minute, you want to say anything about public works?
I can't. I got all right, how you doing? I want to thank, Mayor Woods and Council, thank you for the proclamation. I just want to say that I couldn't pick a better place to be working in. I love the vision. I love what we're doing. I love the community. And I just am thankful to be on the Public Works Department, man. I see a great, great future for us. Want to say something, Alicia?
Well, yes. Hello, everybody. Good evening. My name is Alicia Harris. I serve as the administrative assistant for the Public Works Department. I wanted to start off by thanking Mayor Wood and the council for the recognition, echoing Charles's sentiments. I really enjoy working here. I love being able to, provide what we do for the town and showing up every day for the residents. And I'm very grateful for the recognition. Thank you, guys.
Mr. Mayor, point of privilege, please.
Councilman Pete?
Mr. Gates and Ms. Alicia, can you guys come back up here, please? Alicia Harris and Charles Gates, representing the Public Works Department within our town of Dumfries. I just want to extended thank you guys for what you've done in the last month and a half and knowing what's going on in the department and stepping into that role and taking on those duties and things and having things in motion and moving as there wasn't a void there for a second. And that even though that position is still vacant at the time, you guys still are moving like champions in that department. So keep doing what you're doing. I see you. I just wanted that to be recognized from this council. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And thank you, Public Works Department. Great job. And town manager.
Councilman Fields.
If I may. Guys, I've been in this town for 20 years now. And when I first started in this town working in the police department, the Public Works Department was large and outstanding, doing great back then. I will tell you, I have not seen it run this well since then. So that says a lot. That says a lot. Keep up the good work. I'm so happy to see you guys out there and ladies out there doing what you got to do to keep our town beautiful, doing what you got to do to keep our town, just in the right place at the right time seems to be always. So I really appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Councilman Young.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. How can I say it? Ditto. But also, too, to let you guys know that it doesn't go unnoticed of how much you show up for the citizens in this town. And even though you are truly the ones working behind the scenes to make everything run properly, to make everything look beautiful the way it does, I can't express how, for me, myself, and being a resident of this town, I can't express exactly how much it means to me to tell my friends and say, hey, come to the town, and they go to express exactly how it looks in the upkeep of everything. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
And if I add in closing, you all go over and above. You see our public works team at our events. They're out there setting up. They're out there putting things. They were very good at putting up the winter banners, and now you see the new spring banners as you drive down Main Street. They got the new spring banners up, although we had some terrible winter storms that knocks them down, and they said, well, it'll be the same much to get one new one, then we just get all new ones, and so we put up all fresh new ones, and so we want to commend you for going over and above, and I think the community will applaud you for keeping all of the common areas manicured and well maintained out there, and our parks looking good. So please give our public works team one more round of applause. All right, next on our agenda is a proclamation to recognize Jewish American Heritage Month. whereas Jewish American Heritage Month is observed each May to recognize and celebrate the history, the heritage, the culture, and the contributions of Jewish Americans to our nation. Jewish Americans have made up lasting contributions in public service, in education, in business, civic leadership, culture, and the pursuit of justice and opportunity for all. The values of community service, education, compassion, and the Tikkun Olam, repairing the world, continue to inspire civic engagement and strengthen communities across America. Whereas the town of Dumfries recognized that strong communities are built through understanding, through partnerships and meaningful relationship across cultures, across faith, and other backgrounds. And the town of Dumfries values opportunities to foster connections, to celebrate diversity, and to build bridges that contribute to a more united and engaged community for current and future generations. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Town Council of Dumfries do hereby proclaim May 2026 as Jewish American Heritage Month in the town. And we encourage all residents to recognize and celebrate the many contributions that Jewish Americans to our shared American story. Signed 19th day of May, Mayor Derek R. Wood, by order of the council. What do they say when you give a toast? What do they say when you give a toast?
L'chaim.
Hello. You want to say it again?
L'chaim.
L'chaim. There you go. L'chaim.
2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jewish says l'chaim, Mr. L'chaim. We don't want me speaking about Hebrew.
Thank you, Mayor Wood and the Town Council for recognizing Jewish American Heritage Month. As a member of the Jewish community and Congregation Ner Shalom, I'm also proud to be a part of the Dumfries and Prince William County communities where I've raised my children and lived for over 30 years. There's been a Jewish presence in Virginia for over 200 years. And we have worked to help build America over the centuries, from supporting the American Revolution, to Jonas Salk, who gave us the polio vaccine, to Stan Lee, who gave us Spider-Man. Judaism has a strong, solid belief in equality and respect for all people. The Jewish people were among the first to fight for equal rights and march side by side with Dr. King. In today's world, we see prejudice rearing its ugly head against so many minorities. As Jews, we are but 0.2% of the world population, so we understand minority status. It is our hope that through education and communication, we can dismantle these prejudices against all people and build a better world through peace. And as Mayor Wood said, the term in Hebrew, Tikkun Olam. You'll find many iterations, and I'll share one that I believe encompasses the heart of the words. Tikkun means repair. Olam means all or world. So Tikkun Olam means to do something with the world that will not only fix any damage, but also improve upon it. We believe it is our responsibility to leave the world a better place in which we found it. Congregation Ner Shalom welcomes all to our services and hopes to share our knowledge and learn from our neighbors. Again, we thank you for the honor and the time to share our thoughts.
Thank you. And I was proud to meet Rabbi Abraham Joshua Herschel's daughter, who's a professor up at one of the universities in Boston, who gives a lot of lectures, and she shares stories about Martin Luther King coming to her house. So thank you for including that in your remarks. All right, next on our agenda, we're going to recognize our 2026 high school graduate interns of the town of Dumfries. So we'll ask you, as I read this, for you all to just come up here and stand. Okay. Oh, just the school. Okay, got it. I just want to make sure I wasn't reading them all. Okay. All right, they read pretty much all the same. I'm gonna read the first line and the last line for everybody. But whereas the town of Dumfries is committed to encouraging educational achievement, civic engagement, leadership development, and professional growth among the youth and the community. Whereas the student interns serving the town of Dumfries have demonstrated dedication, responsibility, professionalism, and a strong commitment to public service while balancing the academic demands of their high school education. Whereas these graduating interns have contributed valuable time, energy, creativity, and enthusiasm to the operations and programs of the town, helping to strengthen the service provided to the residents and the visitors alike. Whereas the town of Dumfries recognizes your accomplishments of all of these students, they've reached the important milestone of graduating from high school, woohoo, in the year 2026, and prepare to pursue higher education, career opportunities, some military service, and other future endeavors. Whereas the mayor and town council wish to honor, we wish to celebrate the achievements, the perseverance, and the promising futures of all the graduating high school interns who have served the town of Dumfries during the 2025-2026 academic year. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Town Council of Dumfries do hereby recognize and congratulate Ms. Lyric Howard, a Town of Dumfries intern, graduating Forest Park High School in 2026, and we extend our sincere appreciation for your service and dedication. We also recognize and congratulate Kamaya Om. Where's she here? She's not here. Okay, but she's a Town of Dumfries intern, also graduating from Forest Park, and a graduate in 2026. We also want to recognize and congratulate Kyla Warren, who is graduating from Woodbridge High School. And also, we want to recognize Kai Babor, graduated from Garfield High School, 2026. Be it further proclaimed that the town of Dumfries encourage these graduates here to continue striving for excellence, leadership, and service in all their future endeavors. Signed by order of the town council, Mayor Derek R. Wood, 19th day of May. And I'm asking all the council to step down with these interns, and our manager, you come down as well. Let's all. Yeah, Ms. Kim, you come up too. You work with the interns. Get in this picture as we give them. All right.
Thank you.
Hold that up for you.
Oh, I ain't gonna pick you up.
Come on, everybody turn like at an angle. Turn at an angle.
All right, there we go.
Tight. Okay, y'all good like that. So y'all are good.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Y'all work as interns in the town and encourage other young people to be interns?
Cute. Let me just go. Let's see. Do we go?
Okay, the floor is yours.
I'm Kayla Warren, and I'm going to Hampton University, and I'd like to thank everybody a part of the internship and Mayor Woods and the rest of the councilmen for recognizing us.
My name is Kai, and I'm going to Old Dominion University. And I just want to thank my family, my friends, and all of y'all for this opportunity.
You gotta give our interns one more round of applause. That work is not easy. All right, next on our agenda is just the approval of our minutes from our May 5th meeting.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to approve the minutes from our May 5th meeting.
You say you're making a motion to approve it? Got it. Is who seconded?
I second.
Okay, it's been motion to second. Yes, ma'am. Oh, no, it's a resolution, so it'll be down to action items. We're taking down action. Okay. All right, so it's been moved and second. Any further discussion? Okay, seeing no further discussion, Madam Clerk, call for the question.
Councilman Fields?
Yes.
Councilman Peak?
Yes.
Councilman Young?
Yes.
Councilwoman Peterson?
Aye.
Chair Pro Tem Miles?
Aye.
Mayor Wood?
Yes.
That motion's passed.
All right. Next on the agenda was citizen comment period. Were there any citizens signed up to speak tonight?
Yes, we have 2 citizens that signed up to speak. The first person is Christy Barkalow.
Thank you. I'm Christy Barkalow, and I am the president of Historic Dumfries, Virginia Incorporated, and I am here tonight to help everyone understand why America was made in Dumfries, Virginia. So, as many of you know, we were a port town during the colonial period, but we were very, very, very instrumental in making the independence of our nation 250 years ago. So in June of 1774, the citizens here of Dumfries passed what they called the Prince William Resolves. And what they did is they said, we're a port town. We are no longer going to be trading with England. We're no longer supporting the East Indian tea. We're no longer trading with the British. And we are not honoring the Intolerable Acts or the Collusion Acts. We're not doing that anymore. And so our people here in Dumfries were the first to have a resolves in the state of Virginia. Then in 1775, Prince William County men formed a regular company that joined with William Woodford's 2nd Virginia Regiment, and they fought and defeated British and Loyalist forces at the First Battle of Virginia, the Battle of Great Bridge. So that was our Dumfries people. In September 16th of 1776, Major Andrew Leach, you guys recognize that name from Andrew Leach Park? You might not know why it's Andrew Leach Park. So Major Andrew Leach was a citizen of Dumfries, and he was of the 3rd Virginia Regiment, led a flank attack during the Battle of Harlem Heights in New York, which disoriented the British, of which he also received a mortal wound, making his death the first known Prince William County casualty of the Revolution, and he was from Dumfries. In August of 1776, Lieutenant Colonel William Grayson, which you guys just recognized William Grayson in March, was made an aide-de-camp to General George Washington, and he was a Dumfries resident. In December of 1776, Corporal John Sidebottom, a mixed-race Prince William officer at the 1776 Battle of Trenton from Dumfries, helped evacuate wounded Lieutenant and future President James Monroe. And that was a Dumfries person who did that. In 1777, Dumfries is the recruit and muster station for Prince William County for the Revolutionary War. And in 1777, this is what's interesting, George Washington isolated the town of Dumfries, and he inoculated the soldiers with the smallpox inoculation, which meant taking the goo out of one soldier and putting it into another soldier so they would get a mild form of smallpox. Smallpox, that meant that the citizens of Dumfries were also exposed to smallpox, but that's how those people did their part. In 1779, Major Light Horse Henry Lee from Leesylvania successfully led an attack. And in 1781, the people of Dumfries helped to clear the Washington Rosenboat Trail. And now Tiffany's going to tell you how we're going to celebrate here in Dumfries.
All right. Madam Clerk, is anyone else signed up? You said 2 people?
Yeah.
Miss Abigail.
Oh, Abby's going to.
Hello, Mayor. Just very quickly, I just wanted to invite you and the rest of the town council and the town staff and anybody in this room and anybody who'd like to come to our June 7th America 250 birthday bash. We're going to do a birthday barbecue. We're going to have free hot dogs and cake and ice pops and popcorn and activities and performances. It'll all be at Merchant Park, so it'll be from noon to 4 on Sunday, June 7th. So as Dumfries is the oldest continuously chartered town in Virginia, and yeah, like Christy said, a lot of histories here. And I know it's an interesting time for patriotism, but I mean, for America 250, I think it'll be good to kind of get everybody in town and, you know, just have a completely just big, and it'll all be free, just a nice little event. So thank you.
Mr. Mayor, if I may.
Does it have a response to any of that? No, we'll go past it. Okay. Next, we'll come back. All right. Any other citizens signed up? All right. All right, reports and presentations. We'll move on to the town manager report.
Good evening, Mayor, Town Council. Briefly, I'll just highlight a few things from my town manager's report. Currently, we are in the process of evaluating 3 RFPs, one for the historic feasibility study, another one for the municipal boundary line study, and another one for waste management. Through our negotiations process, we've collectively saved approximately $55,000 for the town. Moving on to information technology is in the process of upgrading Suite 310. They also ordered all of our security systems for the town. Human Resources has successfully hired 3 new police officers. We did a few internal transfers and some movements. We're currently recruiting for Public Information Officer, Public Works Director, and many of you may not know, but as of today, I made a personnel announcement that we have selected Mr. Joseph Rayfield Vines as the Deputy Town Manager permanently. He will start effective June 1st. The Public Information Officer sent out 11 press releases. And we've had several successful events over the past. We had the Easter egg hunt with almost 1,600 people. Farmers Market had about 400 attendees. We had our Autism Appreciation Day, which had 292 attendees, and Trade Fair had 107. We had multiple cleanups and park events, and I wanted to also take a moment to let everyone know that while we're celebrating Public Works Appreciation Week, this Thursday, we will have a luncheon or cookout for the Public Works team. That's this Thursday from 12 to 2. We have it set up for the park outside, but should we have inclement weather, we will either bring it into the community center. So we want to extend an invite to everyone. If not in community center, we'll be here in town hall. But Mayor, that's all I have. If anybody have any questions, I'm here to answer.
I guess the biggest question is, one, what is the initials IFB?
Oh. IFB stands for Invitation for Bid. RFP stands for Request for Proposal, sir.
Okay, and then I know we had 2 different numbers. 52. You said 55,000. How did you save 55,000 on the?
So through successful negotiations, basically when we receive proposals on various bids, we have a budget of X number, and when we negotiate down to another number. So collectively, we've saved that amount. And the invitation for bid is based on the lowest bid, the lowest total responsive bid, and basically we just put it out for bid, and those were the offers that came in. That was a collective total for this fiscal year.
Okay. Chair Pro Tem.
Yes, I would actually just like to extend the congratulations to Mr. Vines. I am really proud of the work that he's done for the town. He's a good representation for the town. He's very dedicated, and he has definitely earned it. So I'm looking forward to what he achieves in this role. I wish he was here so I could tell him to his face, but I will be running up on him. So just wanted to make sure I said that.
Thank you.
Councilman Pete.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to see if we can get Mr. Ray Vine at the next meeting, so we can do this in person. Additionally, my town manager, I guess at our next meeting, could we get an update on the that contract with Bates?
The solid waste, so we're
Yes, with the, as far as the the extra day goes? Can we get that at our next meeting?
So we're currently actively in the RFP process.
Okay.
So we're evaluating the proposals. We have to go through negotiations. So I will give an update when we're at the award stage, sir.
Sounds good. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Town Manager.
No problem.
Okay, any, I think that's good. No more further questions. Here, we're moving right along. Next is the consent agenda. There's no items on the consent agenda. We will move to our public hearings. And our first public hearing is a consideration of a zoning text amendment to allow townhome use in the R2 General Residential Zoning District with a conditional use permit. Mr. Tabor, the bow tie looks snazzy. The floor is yours.
Trying to be like you, Mr. Mayor.
And I came without one today, right?
Thank you so much. And Honorable Mayor, Chair Pro Tem, and members of council, may we have the other presentation, please? Great, thank you. So this is a petition to add townhouse use as an allowed use in the R2 district with conditions and a CUP or conditional use permit. The town of Dumfries received a petition to amend the Town Code Division 3 Residential General District R2 to add townhouses, patio houses type condominiums as an allowed use in the R2 district with conditions and a CUP or conditional use permit. The purposes identified on the petition to amend the town code include facilitate the creation of a convenient, attractive, and harmonious community, encourage economic development activities that provide desirable employment and enlarge the tax base, promote the creation and preservation of affordable housing suitable for meeting the current and future needs of the locality, as well as reasonable proportion of the current and future needs of the planning district within which the property is situated. The town code gives the town council the authority to adopt amendments to the zoning ordinance by ordinance whenever the public necessity, convenience, general welfare, or good zoning practices requires. Also, Virginia code requires that no zoning ordinance shall be amended or reenacted unless the governing body has referred the proposed amendment or reenactment to the local planning commission for its recommendations. The townhouse use is currently allowed in the R3 condominium district and the PMUD or planned mixed use district. So based on comments from the applicant, the proposed code amendment aligns with and implements the town's adopted Destination Dumfries 2044 Comprehensive Plan by creating a clear regulatory pathway for redevelopment of underutilized and non-conforming residential properties. It transforms outdated land use constraints into opportunities for high-quality, fiscally productive, and context-sensitive residential development. It establishes a predictable, legislatively sanctioned pathway for non-conforming townhouse uses to transition into conforming uses, but maintains local control through the CUP or conditional use permit process. It introduces a stepped density approach where lower density R2 neighborhoods remain protected and townhouse uses are introduced only on larger parcels that are 2.5 acres or more and only through a discretionary review. It does not introduce a new or untested land use pattern. Rather, it includes a development approach that the town has already deemed appropriate in certain contexts. It encourages investment in residential development and increases the town's population to support local businesses at a moderated scale and strengthens the town's competitiveness in regional housing markets. So within the town's comprehensive plan, there are several action items in the plan that this proposed amendment would help to implement, and they include NH 1.2F, encourage the development of single household attached units and condominiums in order to balance the housing stock to match the changing population composition in the town. Provide a variety of housing types such as duplexes, fourplexes, small apartment buildings, and medium-density multifamily, including apartments over shops. And it also implements the action item plan for an inclusive community by developing housing at a variety of price points. So this is the future land use map in the adopted comprehensive plan, and it illustrates the medium-density residential designated areas. And the blue circles, the blue circular dotted lines identify current medium-density land uses. We can see the current townhome developments along Possum Point within Williamstown, and then also the recently developed Town Square development. And the red dotted lines identify the medium-density residential uses that were adopted in the comprehensive plan. So the proposed amendment would add uses allowed pursuant to a conditional use permit, townhouses, patio houses, type condominiums with a conditional use permit. Such uses shall be subject to the regulations and standards set forth in Division 4, Residential Condominium District R3, and the following conditions. A, the maximum density of a townhouse, patio house development approved by conditional use permit shall not exceed 8 units per acre. B, the minimum lot area of a townhouse, patio house development approved by conditional use permit shall be 2.5 acres. C, townhouse, patio house developments approved by conditional use permit shall follow the open space requirements specified in section 7177, and at least 35% of the gross area of the development, which is over 1/3 of the development, would be designated for open space. And finally, D, townhouse, patio house development approved by conditional use permit shall not exceed the height limits specified in section 70-176, which is 35 feet, and that is actually the same for currently for R2 district development. So in accordance with the Planning Commission recommendation, staff recommends that the Town Council adopts an ordinance approving ZTA 2026-004, a zoning text amendment to allow for townhouses in the R2 General Residential District with conditions and a conditional use permit. I would also like to add that staff recommendation is also to add an additional condition, and that condition would be that the property proposed for townhouse use in the R2 General Residential District must be designated as medium-density residential in the Town of Dumfries Comprehensive Plan Future Land Use Map. If the property is not currently designated as medium-density residential in the future land use map, the process would require a public notice, a review, and public hearing and recommendation by the Planning Commission, then a public notice, review, public hearing, and adoption by ordinance by the Town Council approving the comprehensive plan amendment. Then they would come forth with a conditional use permit. And I'm happy to respond to any questions, and the applicant or the petitioner is here this evening as well.
All right, well, thank you for that very detailed and well-written report. Madam Chair Pro Tem, questions?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I have a couple questions, and I have some procedural questions, and then I'll get to my point. With a conditional use permit, isn't the idea that you can virtually put anything anywhere with a conditional use permit? Does it have to be, like, if this was in a business district, and I'm not saying we want to put this in the business district, that's not where I'm going with this, but with, just for the purposes of a conditional use permit, could you break down that process a little bit on what it works, what it's for, and why we would pursue something like that?
Yes, thank you very much, Chair Pro Tem. Within the town's code of ordinances, in the zoning section, there are designations for the various land uses, residential, commercial, and we identify residential with Rs, R1, 2, and 3, and then business, B1, B2, and then manufacturing, M1, or industrial uses. Within those designations, in some of them, we have conditional uses, like in the business districts, we allow in the code conditional uses, and we identify those conditional uses. And those conditional uses are only approved if a person gets, or a developer or property owner gets a conditional use permit. Currently in our residential districts, R1, R2, and R3, we do not have any conditional uses that are permitted. We do have them again in our commercial districts, the B1 and B2, and we have them also in the manufacturing district. So this particular petition would add a townhouse as a conditional use in the R2 district only. You know, in the R1, the use would not be permitted with a conditional use or at all. And of course, it is the R3, the townhouse use is the R2 use, I'm sorry, R3 use in the R3 district.
Okay, thank you. And the reason I had wanted you to clarify that is because I've been pretty consistent. I don't like zoning text amendments. I tend to think they're a little aggressive, and I normally wouldn't get on board with something like that. But I do believe in this case, because we're talking about a residential area, and because we're talking about the comprehensive plan and having zones and uses that are harmonious, I do believe that it's a harmonious use to have townhomes in the R2. I do have a safety concern. The reason I have a safety concern is this, is because when we talk about the R3, we're talking about narrow streets and less space, which could create an issue. You know, when we talk about townhomes, people, it's normally street parking. If there's no space anywhere that I can think of off the top of my head in the R3, or not, in the R2, for a parking lot or anything like that, so the reason why that's an issue for me is because when there's not adequate space, you know, right now we can argue in the R3 where we do have townhomes, we don't have adequate space for parking there. We don't have the infrastructure in the R2 for street parking or something like that. I would ask if it would be appropriate to add a condition here. One of the conditions be that if we are going to build townhomes, that those townhomes include driveways or either garages, because because what happens is when people don't have parking, it might not seem like a big deal, but when parking becomes an issue, that quickly becomes a public safety issue. And in terms of road rage, in terms of, other things that it leads to, and in terms of motorist visibility, things of that nature are impacted as well. So that's one thing that I would like to add. It's something I can get behind, but we have to anticipate that. And with that, I yield.
You have to do that in a motion. But Councilman Fields.
Yes. On your slide before the last, you mentioned medium residential or medium?
Medium density residential.
Can you explain that a little bit more, what that means, please?
Yes, so in the adopted comprehensive plan, there are identified medium density residential areas, and they generally include townhome developments, the Williamstown area, as well as the townhomes along Possum Point. and then Town Square, where the newest townhomes have been developed within the town. They also identify an area along Washington Street on the north side of the street that potentially could be townhome development, and one other along Graham Park Road that could be potentially a townhome development.
Okay. So it's fair to say, back to what Chair Pro Tem was talking about, as far as I can recall seeing any new or newer, let's say from 2010 up, style townhomes, they've all had adequate parking in the front with a driveway and a garage. So hopefully it's safe to say that most of the new ones will come equipped with like that. Are we?
Yes, sir. So there are two, I think, responses, and we can certainly add them as conditions. One, that off-street parking, adequate off-street parking be required, and also that, the units have a garage.
Garage in the driveway. And like I said, even the new ones that you two live in, Councilwoman Peterson and Councilman Mignon, they have the driveway plus and the ones that were built, I think, in 2010 off of Possum Point, they were built in 2010. They have the driveway and the garage and some parking spaces. So from the residents over there, I think they get along very well with that. So thank you.
All right, any more questions for the staff report? All right, seeing none, now we will open up the public hearing. Madam Clerk, is there anyone signed up to speak at the public hearing on this?
No, sir.
All right, anyone come in late, didn't get a chance to speak at the public hearing? All right, seeing none, I will close the public hearing on this matter. Turn it back for council discussion as we just closed the public hearing. Say again? So the clarity was, it's already written into the code to have a certain amount of parking spots in those. Does that need to be a condition? I just want to make sure I get a point of clarity.
It does. So we do have off-street parking requirements, but as a condition to be safe, you may want to add it.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, there's your motion. Got it. All right, seeing no further discussion, Chair Pro Tem.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the zoning text amendment to allow townhome use in the R2 general residential area with a conditional use permit, which shall include dedicated parking in the form of a driveway, parking garage, or off-street parking with the development.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to second that motion.
Okay, it's been motioned and properly second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call for that question.
Councilman Fields?
Yes.
Councilman Pete?
Absolutely.
Councilman Young?
Yes.
Councilwoman Peterson?
Yes.
Chair Pro Tem Miles?
Aye.
Mayor Wood?
Yes.
That motion's passed.
All right, next is a public hearing to consideration of an ordinance approving a conditional use permit for electric vehicle sales at 17880 Fraley Boulevard. Mr. Tabor, welcome back. The floor is still yours.
Thank you. Right. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, Chair Pro Tem, and members of council. This is an This is an application for a conditional use permit, or CUP, to permit auto sales of electric vehicles at 17880 Fraley Boulevard. And the town of Dumfries received an application for a conditional use permit, or CUP, to permit auto sales of electric vehicles at 17880 Fraley Boulevard, an allowed use in the B1 district with conditions and a CUP, or conditional use permit. And this shows the location of the property at 17880 Fraley Boulevard. kind of outlined in blue on the left, and then in the red, which is the B1 district on the right. So again, the town code gives the town council the authority to adopt amendments to the zoning ordinance and zoning map by ordinance whenever the public necessity, convenience, general welfare, and good zoning practices require. Virginia code requires that no zoning ordinance shall be amended or reenacted unless the governing body has referred the proposed amendment or reenactment to the local planning commission for its recommendations. During the April 21st, 2026 regular meeting of the Town of Dumfries Town Council, the Town Council adopted an ordinance amending the town code to allow auto sales of electric vehicles in the B1 General Business District with conditions and a conditional use permit, or CUP. During the May 5th, 2026 meeting, the Town of Dumfries Planning Commission voted to recommend approval of CUP 2026-001, a conditional use permit CUP to permit auto sales of electric vehicles at 17880 Fraley Boulevard. The property at 17880 Fraley Boulevard is located in the B1 zoning district, and it conforms with the newly adopted code requirements for electric vehicle sales in the B1 district. The conditions include on the left, and I apologize for the view on the slide, but automobile sales lot size shall be not less than 1.5 acres, and the property at 17880 Fraley Boulevard is 1.89 acres, which exceeds the 1.5 acre requirement. Businesses must have a structure that may serve as a showroom, and the structure at the property is 9,920 square feet and can serve as a showroom. All automobiles shall be placed in marked parking spaces, and the property has paved property that may be marked for parking to conform with the town code, and code conformance will be required prior to the issuance of a certificate of occupancy, or CO, before the business can start operating. All automobiles sold shall be electric vehicles, and the applicant is an electric vehicle dealer, and conformance will be required. And finally, automobile maintenance and service must be within an enclosed structure, and the structure, as stated previously, on the property will accommodate enclosed maintenance and service. So in accordance with the Planning Commission recommendation, staff recommends that the Town Council adopts an ordinance approving CUP 2026-001, a conditional use permit to permit auto sales of electric vehicles at 17880 Fraley Boulevard, an allowed use in the B1 district with conditions and a CUP. And the applicant is here as well this evening. Thank you, and I'm happy to respond to any questions.
And what were the conditions that we were putting on this permit? I'm sorry.
They are actually just the conditions that are required by code.
Which is lot size being not less than 1.5 acres. Business must have a structure.
Yes.
All automobiles shall be placed in the marked parking. All automobile sales, so automobile maintenance shall be closed. So there's no timeline on the CUP.
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Councilman Peake?
Mr. Mayor, I would like to make a motion.
No.
Okay, that's what I was asking. You waiting on discussion?
Okay. Councilman Young?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Tabor, quick question for you. What type of I want to say, if you want to say, legal ramifications would take place with the VDOT widening project if that interfered with this particular business's scope of size or their work, their sales, or any type of business in which they would be conducting? What type of ramifications does that hold for the town? Fortunately, the property would still conform to the requirements. Actually, the dimensions of the property that we identified, which exceed the 1.5 acres, is the current size with the, that considers the right-of-way for the widening, right? So that's already been considered, and the current size of the property is the size of the property, and it exceeds the minimum requirement. Okay, all right, thank you, sir.
I did want to hear from the applicant one more time.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor Wood, respected members of the Town Council.
Just want to piggyback off of Councilman Young's comments here. Because I think last time, how much did you say it was going to cost you to kind of renovate this piece of land and to put this up? What was the investment?
The current estimates are somewhere near $500,000.
And then, so are you all familiar with the Route 1 widening project that's going to come alongside there?
Yes, and to sort of add to what Mr. Tabor was referencing there, I think some of the easements have already been taken into account here. So the parking layout and the engineering diagrams that we've submitted to this body have already taken some of the takeover into account already. In other words, I don't think there would be any considerations by the state, VDOT, or Prince William County for any encroachment onto the property for the use that we intend.
How would that, I guess, impact, what do you guys, as far as, I don't know if y'all had a business plan or anything put in place, but what would your projections be for, I guess, being back to par, like your break even? Like how many years of sales would it take to recoup that type of investment on the property?
Sure, I appreciate that question, Mayor Wood. You know, I think taking into account any potential macroeconomic headwinds,
right now, yeah.
You know, any potential recession or downturn that may be expected, I think taking a conservative approach, it could be 8 to 12 years with other operating costs. 8 to 12 years is a fair estimate.
Okay. Do you have any other questions? Okay. All right, no further questions.
Thank you very much.
We will now open up the public hearing. The public hearing for this is now open. Is there any citizens signed up to speak on this?
No, sir.
Are there any citizens here to speak on this particular issue? All right, seeing none, I will now close the public hearing. Public hearing is now closed. Councilman P?
Mr. Mayor, I would like to make a motion that we approve the conditional use permit for electric vehicle sales at 17880 Fairleigh Boulevard by ordinance.
Second.
Okay, it's been motioned and second. Is there any further discussion? Seeing no discussion, Madam Clerk, call for the question.
Councilman Fields?
Yes.
Councilman Pete?
Yes.
Councilman Young?
Yes.
Councilwoman Peterson?
Aye.
Chair Pro Tem Miles?
Aye.
Mayor Wood?
Yes, I'll do it.
That motion passed.
Thank you. Next is a public hearing and consideration of an ordinance amending Chapter 26, Article 7, Sections 26 through 180 through 192, illicit discharge detection and elimination. Madam Attorney. Hey, good to see you. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, honorable members of council. The ordinance amending Chapter 26, Article 7, Sections 26-180 through 92 amends an existing section of the town code dealing with illicit discharge detection and elimination of stormwater. The adoption of this ordinance is necessary to bring our town code into compliance with state law, which provides now for more practical, low-risk municipal and residential water flows to be permitted while controlling polluted stormwater runoff. Because this ordinance will bring our town code into compliance with state law, I recommend its adoption. Thank you. That concludes my prepared remarks. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
All right, council, any questions on the recommendation or this report from our town attorney? All right, seeing none, I will now open the public hearing. Were there anyone signed up, Madam Clerk, to speak tonight?
No, sir.
Is anyone here to speak on that ordinance? Okay, seeing none in the crowd today, I will now close the public hearing. Public hearing is now closed.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adopt ordinance amending Chapter 26, Article 7, Section 26 through 180 through 192, illicit discharge detection and elimination by code of the ordinance.
Second.
Okay, it's been motioned and second. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call for the question.
Councilman Fields?
Yes.
Councilman Pete?
Yes.
Councilman Young?
Yes.
Councilwoman Peterson? Aye. Chair Pro Tem Miles?
Aye.
Mayor Wood?
Yes.
That motion's passed.
All right, next is a resolution honoring the life, the service, and the legacy of former Mayor Christopher Keith Brown. At a meeting of the Dumfries Town Council, do I read this or do I make the motion first? You can read this? I'll read it, then we can make a motion. All right. It says, whereas the Town Council of Town of Dumfries joins the community in mourning the passing of former Mayor Christopher Keith Brown on May the 9th, 2026, whereas Christopher Keith Brown was a lifelong resident of the town of Dumfries who dedicated many years of service to the betterment of the community he loved. Mayor Brown faithfully served the residents of Dumfries as a member of the Dumfries Town Council and later as the mayor of the town of Dumfries, helping to guide and shape the town through his leadership, his civic involvement, and his community and his commitment to public service. Mayor Brown also represented the town of Dumfries through regional leadership and civic engagement, always carrying with him a deep appreciation of the town's history, the town's people, and the future of where the town was going. Beyond his public service, Christopher Brown was known as a respected businessman. He was a devoted husband. He was a father, grandfather. He was a mentor. He was our across the hall neighbor, many neighbors here, and a friend whose life touched many throughout the Dumfries community and beyond. And whereas the town of Dumfries recognized that public service requires sacrifice, stewardship, dedication, and honors Christopher Keith Brown as one who helped carry the responsibility of leadership for one of Virginia's oldest continuously chartered towns. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Town Council of the Town of Dumfries that the council hereby expresses its deepest condolences to the Brown family, and we honor the life, the service, and the legacy of former Mayor Christopher Keith Brown with gratitude and respect. Be it further resolved that the Town Council directs that this resolution be spread upon the official minutes of the Town of Dumfries and that a copy be presented to the family as a lasting expression of the town's appreciation and our remembrance. And so I make a motion that we adopt the resolution honoring the life, the service, and the legacy of former Mayor Christopher Keith Brown.
Second.
Okay, it's been motioned and second. Any discussion? Chair Pro Tem.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would just like to speak on the character of Mayor Brown. I was like 13 when he was mayor, and I remember him being such a big influence to the town because he was the first time, I was coming from Philly, he was the first time I could say, oh, a mayor is actually walking through the neighborhood, and he really did a lot to make sure all residents of Dumfries had the Dumfries experience. He made sure everyone felt the love. I know we have other council members that described, we've come a long way since then, about how that Route 1 corridor can actually be a barrier between the community. Mayor Brown was actually the first mayor that actually took strides to bridge that gap. He ensured the town home communities were included in town parades and things of that nature. So for that, I'm always grateful. My heart definitely goes out to his family, definitely keeping them in prayers, but he was definitely a great man, and his impact will never be forgotten, and we'll truly miss him. With that, I yield.
Yeah, I say Mayor Brown's, his tutelage, his mentorship, one of the stories I share is, for those who don't know, Mayor Brown was adopted, and his stepfather, Lee Lansing, had created the initial seal for the town of Dumfries. And when I swore in as mayor in 2018, and I sat down and I said, I'm thinking about changing the logo. You know, how do you feel, Mayor Brown? And he says, man, he says, go for it. Let's go with a fresh look. He go with the vision, and he pushed it. And, you know, he was behind us refreshing the logo and being behind. And, you know, we honor him with the old flag and the old logo so that, you know, Lee Lansing as the historian. And we kept a lot of the elements that Lee Lansing put in the original logo in this logo with the Scottish thistle in the middle, the braided rope, and it represented our maritime history. So we took all of that, and Mayor Brown and his family's influence is leaving a lasting legacy here. So him and both his wife will be missed. You know, when we bought this building, he was the first one to say, hey, Mayor, I want to be one of your tenants. I want to move my whole business into that building with you. And he came over to help us occupy this building and felt good. And so, you know, I'm forever grateful for him being behind me. And then the last story, when he won mayor, he said he won with a 2-to-1 vote, right? He called it 2 scoops. It was always, I joke, 2 scoops. And he said, you got to win by a 2-to-1 margin. And so when the results came in 2018, it was 75%, and it was a 3-to-1 margin. He said, man, you went out there, you outdid me on the things. And so he always say, you had to go get an extra scoop. And so, Mayor Brown, you will be missed. Thank you. It was good seeing you the last time I saw you, and until we see you again, rest in peace. All right, Councilman Fields.
I could truly say that Mayor Brown is definitely an outstanding person, friend, always had words of advice and courage and wisdom. He definitely will be missed. And I tell you, we shared old car stuff together, and we just would always have a good time when we talk. So he'd definitely be missed.
All right, seeing no more discussion, Madam Clerk, call for the question, please.
Councilman Fields?
Yes.
Councilman Peake?
Yes.
Councilman Young?
Yes.
Councilwoman Peterson?
Yes.
Chair Pro Tem Miles?
Aye.
Mayor Wood?
Yes.
That motion is passed.
All right, I'm going to amend the agenda here because the closed session meeting is not ready for tonight's agenda. So we will remove, I'm going to make a motion that we remove the closed session that's scheduled on the agenda off.
Second.
Okay. It's been motioned and second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call for the question.
Councilman Fields?
Yes.
Councilman Peake?
Yes.
Councilman Young?
Yes.
Councilwoman Peterson?
Aye.
Chair Pro Tem Miles?
Aye.
Mayor Wood?
Yes.
That motion's passed.
Okay, the closed session is removed. And I think I had one final announcement before we adjourn. We want to personally invite every resident, to attend Mayor Brown's funeral. It'll be at Dumfries United Methodist Church at, I think, 10 o'clock. You want to start getting over there on Thursday. Also, we invite every resident, every business owner, every community partner, every person who cares about the future to join us for the State of the Town address on Thursday, May 28th at 7 p.m. at the Potomac Valley Church over on Williamstown Drive. This is going to be a moment for our community to see where we are, understand where we're going, and recognize how much of the town is being built right now. And so over the past few years, we've been moving through a lot of seasons. We're talking about Main Street, waterfront, public safety, infrastructure, parks, recreation, economic development. The state of the town is where we're going to connect all those dots to show everything that's been going on the last few years, because sometimes when you're close to the work, you can only see the construction. You see the cones, the meeting, the delays, but every now and then we need to step back and see the blueprint. And so the state of the town is that it gives you the opportunity to see the blueprint. So we invite you all out next Thursday, the 28th at 7 p.m., and you can RSVP to make sure you got a seat reserved. With that, we will adjourn this meeting.